I lie on the conveyor belt, put headphones on to protect my ears from the loud noise, and clutch a little buzzer, which I'm told to press if I want to come out in a hurry. I tell the radiologist I'm claustrophobic. "Don't worry, you won't go in very far, just up to your head," she says as she leaves the room. There's a soft wind blowing. My feet are deep inside the tunnel, my head at the entrance, but the machine doesn't stop moving. It just keeps going. The roof's almost touching my face. I'm entombed. It's very dark. I can't stand it. I press the buzzer. I want to scramble out, but the space is too tight, like a pothole. The conveyor belt slowly reverses, and I'm back in the pale green room, so ashamed. I've wasted their time and money, and I've let my daughter down. You'd think if your life depended on something, you'd be able to do it. I'm hustled out the door and told to make another appointment. I go home, empty out 3 large cardboard boxes and stick them together so they make a long, thin coffin shape. I lie in the box in the middle of the living room every day. And every day I draw a blanket closer and closer to my face until by the 3rd day I can stand it covering me for 5 minutes. When I can lie in the box for half an hour, I go back to the hospital and have the MRI. Cool boots. I'm fucked. The doctor tells me I've got a huge tumour at the top of my cervix. I want to appear in control, still in charge of my own destiny, so I ask, how do you get this sort of cancer? Cervical cancer can only be contracted by people who are sexually active. Shut up. Stop talking. You're making me sound like a right slag. Hubby's sitting right next to me. What's he thinking? That he's married to a loser who not only has cancer, but slept around and is now going to die and leave him to bring up our new baby on his own. Doors opening, lift going up. Please use the hand gel. Oncology, doctor, train, home, sleep. Blood test, endoscopy, scan, anaesthetic, vomit, results. Worse than we thought, I'm afraid. Bus, home, bleed, sleep. Lift going down. Take this to the 2nd floor. Scan, drip, chemo, vomit. Ah! Oh, God. Oh. It'll all become clear. Thank God that's not my life. I can't feel anything, so it must be happening to someone else. It's not me who's being prodded and radiated. Not me with chemo dripping into her veins. Anyway, I'd never shit in my pants. I'm quite elegant, actually, so it's definitely not me standing on the junction of York Way and Camden Road, legs trembling, knees clamped together, clutching the black iron railings that surround the council estate. That woman's in a cold sweat, her face all screwed up like a bunch fist. She's probably a drug addict. So many of them in Camden Town, even posh ones. Excuse me, please can I use your loo? Thank you so much. Use best voice so don't sound like a junkie desperate for a next fix. Just a few more steps. Too late. Can't stop it. Disgusting, soiled, stinking lowlife. Nighttime's the worst though. Death waiting patiently just outside the half-open bedroom door. I know he's out there and he knows I'm in here. Even if I beat him and get through another night, he's not bothered. He knows his time will come. I'm scared, I whisper to hubby. I know. What else can he say? When you're faced with death, you have to walk that walk alone. So, that's one little episode. So now, next one, I've been married about 17 years. I live by the sea in a nice house. Got a daughter 10 years old. My marriage is failing for various reasons. And the Slits bass player, Tessa, rings up. It's about the first phone call I've had that isn't from my mum for a year, and says, do you want to join the Slits again? So, I've got a goal. Learn to play guitar and be ready for the Slits gig in 5 months' time. I feel like a contestant on that reality TV show, Faking It. Take a bored Hastings housewife and turn her into a punk rock guitarist in 5 months. I go to the local music shop in the sleepy old town of Rye and buy a second-hand Fender copy, a little practice amp, a guitar lead and a couple of picks. I set the amp up next to the kitchen table, cut the nails on my left hand right back to little stumps, And after my daughter's gone to bed, I try and get my fingers back around those chord shapes that I used to be able to play 25 years ago. I've completely lost it. I remember the shapes, but my fingers can't make them. So I sit there night after night, 50 years old, my tongue sticking out as I concentrate on spreading my fingers apart and keeping them pressed on the strings long enough to strum a chord. I ignore the pain of the wire cutting into the pads of my fingers. I don't watch TV, read newspapers, meet anyone for coffee or lunch, or do anything that will take a second away from my playing. I do the minimum I have to do domestically, and that's it. Everything else stops. I'm like a teenager. I take the guitar with me wherever I go. It's always in the back of the car. If my daughter's at a tennis lesson, I sit in the car, push the front seat back, and practice whilst I wait for her. I play at home for a couple of hours before I have to drive back to school and pick her up. I play in the car park for the 10 minutes before the bell goes. I even play on the train if I'm in an empty carriage. I'm seething and burning with determination and drive. I will do this. I have no idea why or where it's going, but nothing in the world is going to stop me. I play to survive.